Hey, right now I'm about to do an X Diva about putting together your graphs. So there is a lot of graphs out there, PDF format, and they come in different pages sometimes, or if it's one page, then you will use it in an app. But majority of mine come out as multiple pages, and the multiple pages is what you use to make your graph. And some people just don't know how to put them together. I actually had a problem in the beginning with making my own graphs. I didn't know how to do it. So I'm going to show you how to work with my graphs. So we're about to do this really quick Ask Diva. This Ask Diva question is basically asking, how do we put together a graph? TL Lance is the one who asked this question, so I am using her graph, which is the graph that she requested and paid for. So I am going to do it on her graph. That way it'll be so much easier for her to understand how she's doing it. So I hope you understand how I'm doing this. Now, I just printed this out with my printer, and shout out to HP for doing that Insta Ink. The Insta Ink is fabulous. I mean, I don't run out of ink at all. Like, in the middle of this, I ran out of ink. And you want to know something? Insta Ink sent me that ink a whole month ago. So all I had to do was stop what it was doing and put the new cartridges in, take the old ones out and put it in a box. And honestly, I haven't sent any one of them back, and it doesn't penalize me, but it gives you a little package to send back already. Everything's already done for you. All you do is put it in a package and send it out, and it's like recycling your ink. But I haven't done that part yet, but they still send it to me, so they didn't penalize me. I think it is the best invention ever that HP did. I'm just saying, get you one, because I wouldn't be able to do this if I didn't have it. So the best thing to do with this is make sure you have all your sheets. So you should have your whole entire graph, which I try to make it bigger enough for you to see. Make sure that you can see the boxes. Sometimes if you ask, I can make the boxes bigger, but you also have to realize that's more papers. But it's up to you. So I have the 4 sheets, and then I have this, which is the information page. The information page is basically my name and the size, which is 150 by 200, 150 stitches across, 200 rows going up, and all of the colors. In the parentheses, it tells you how many skins of yarn you're going to get, and it looks like you need only one per it looks like you only need one per color, but to be on the safe side, I will probably get 2 of the gold and 2 of the black, just to be on the safe side. You know, this is the computer telling us, but we know our tension. So if our tension is tight or loose or whatever, you should know you should buy a little bit more or a little bit less. But the next thing we need to do is take it back to kindergarten. Okay, we're going to go back to kindergarten, and we're going to start doing some cutting and pasting. So make sure you have your scissors and some glue. Now, you can use tape, which I have some tape over here, but I'm going to explain to you why I do not use tape anymore. So as far as of glue, you can use any glue that you want, whatever glue you have. The best thing for me is the stick glue because it's so much easier. You could use the regular Elmer's glue if you want. You could use, if all you have is crazy glue, I wish that would actually be a waste of crazy glue. But if you have it, Gorilla Glue, whatever you need to stick these pages together, that's it. That's all you need. So we're going to take the scissors, and what we're going to do is we're going to cut around one of these sheets, and I'm going to tell you which part to cut, because you don't want to cut where the numbers are at on one of the sheets. You want, it sounds confusing, but it's not really confusing. So for this, for instance, number 1, you are going to have to cut this side. Now this is the side without the numbers. Why? Because if you put this one together with number 2, you're going to put them together, it fits like a puzzle. So you're basically going to put this side to side, but you will have to cut this part in order for it to match up with this part. So if you can tell, there's gray lines. It's 2 gray lines. I set that up for you. I set that up for all of you who have my graphs to make it easier to put together. So the 2 gray lines, yes, it's kind of skinny, but it's doable. I do not cut this because this is where I'm going to line this paper up. So I do not cut this part. What I do is cut this part without the numbers. So that's what I'm going to do right now. And we going to take it back to kindergarten. Take it back to kindergarten. This is fun. Not really, but you know, gotta do what you gotta do, right? Some people take their graphs to like Staples and have Staples do it. Sometimes they blow it up. It's all dependent on your preference. I personally don't even think you need to do that. When I didn't have my printer, I did use an app. And I do have videos on Facebook, not Facebook. I actually do have it on Facebook, but easier to get to on YouTube. I can definitely let you know if you want to know. Comment below and let me know so I can let you know. So the next part that we need to cut is the bottom part. Now this is the next part without any numbers. So you want to make sure you leave the top part alone, the side part alone, and that's the I'm sorry, I'm like mirror image. So that's the top part and this is the side part, and that's with the numbers. Leave them alone. All you're doing is cutting the parts without the without the numbers. Okay. So it should look like this. Okay, because you're going to get ready to put this side on, and then you're going to put this side. Okay. All right, so there we go. We're going to take our glue, and we're going to line this sheet up with the gray lines. So what I'm going to do right now is just take my glue, my cheap little glue, okay, and I'm going to rub it across this gray area. Rub it really, really, really good, all in the area that you didn't cut. That's the area that you did cut on the other side. Just rub it on that area, and make sure you're just gonna cover that gray area. That's it. The gray area, nothing beyond the gray area. You don't want to get beyond, because this is the actual graph. So if you can tell, the gray area is the same exact image as the one that you're going to put on top. So if you look, this adds up with the gray area. So the last two rows here is matching up with the first 2 rows here, which is the gray lines. The gray lines is for you to guide you so that you could put these together and not cover your graph in the rows and the sections that you need, the columns really. So we're going to put it together. The gray The original goes on top of the gray. Remember, do not go over that gray. Well, do not go beyond that gray. Just on top of it. So that when you are putting down your graph, it looks like a completed graph. I'm going to have to bang on it because it's not really... That's what happens with cheap glue, y'all. Cheap glue just don't work. I'm gonna have to like put some diva-ism in it and make it work without hurting. Don't hurt them. Don't hurt them. I'm going to just put it on there. Yeah, we just got to make sure it's stick. Make sure it's stick. Okay, so here we go again. Let's put it on there again. Just make sure it lines up very carefully. There we go. Yeah, this I just had to put some elbow in it, and now it's really sticking. That's all I had to do was put some elbow in it. Okay, so we got this part done, y'all. We got this part done. Okay, so now what we need to do is we need to do this part down here. So what does that mean? We have to cut this part. We have to cut this part. Okay, so we're going to cut this part on the second page. Okay, so that part that's cut on the second page is going to look like this now. See? Okay, this is a good poster. I'm going to give it to my son. All right, so if you can tell, you have the third sheet. The third sheet only have this top part. That's gray. But let me make sure that's correct. Let me see if I can line it up. Let me line it up. Yeah, that is correct. Because the gray part at the bottom is going to be this page right here, page 4. So page 4 is going to have the gray part on the side and the gray part on top. So yes, that is correct. So we already cut this part right here. Now we just need to glue it to this gray part. So just remember, any parts that you see is gray, you know that has to go with something. And this is the part where you're going to put your glue, and then you're going to fit it to the part of the graph. Now remember also, they all have numbers. So I did page 1 and I stuck it next to page 2. Now page 3, it goes at the bottom of that. So right here, page 3, and then page 4 goes over here. So it's not too hard. Like I said in the beginning, I didn't know what the heck I was doing, but I caught on really quick. Okay, take our magic glue, and the first two we're going to do, which is the gray area. And we're going to stick that to page 2. And let's stick that on there. And make sure you are lining it up so that it's matching. And booyah! So the one thing what you should do is cut this part before you glue it, but I just wanted you to see this is the reason why we're cutting it, because this is the next part that has to go. But once you get the hang of it, you're gonna now I just cut everything. By the time I finish cutting everything, all I have to do is put them together. So I'm cutting, and I'm gonna go all the way up till I can't go no more, and bam. Now it's time to put this one together because it has to fit the top right here and the side right here. Okay, so we already know that this is the fourth sheet, so the fourth sheet is just gonna fit right in here. So I'm gonna take my handy dandy glue, use some pressure on this elbow, and stick it on just in the gray areas. Okay, just the gray areas, okay. So we're gonna do that. Do you think I'm having fun? This is fun. This is taking it back to kindergarten. I like kindergarten. You take naps at kindergarten. Can I take a nap after this? Okay. I'm going on both sides. So here we go. I already glued both sides. Now let's stick it in there. I'm going to make sure the top goes on first. And just make sure you're lining both of them up. I'm going to have to make this thing. I don't know what it is though. I'm going to have to make it. You making me want to make it. It's looking nice. You know what? This is going to be a nice blanket, girl. This is going to be a nice blanket. Watch. You going to be the talk. You going to be the talk. People going to like you. You can get some orders. Man, I would love to be you. Okay. So I did my cut and paste. And it's all on there. Voila. It's done. Look at him. Look at him. Look at his cute self. How about that? He's a cutie. I hope you understand. I hope you got it. I hope this is what you're looking for. This is hot, right? So let me just run it down to you really, 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 really slow and quickly. Slow and quick. Oh God. Believe me, I am not a drink. I don't drink. I'm just not a drinker. Maybe a wine here and there, but anyway. You can do this with tape as well. The reason why I don't do it with tape is because it's harder to put the tape on and you're going to cover the areas that you need to highlight. So, for instance, being that I'm using the elbow stick, you take your highlighter, and when you're highlighting the area on whatever you want to start at, I would start all the way at the bottom. I would start right here at the bottom. So for me, it would be on my right side. So I would do right to left, left to right, right to left. So you start down here all the way at the bottom. The first one right here. Right to left, left to right, right to left, left to right. Now think about it like this. The first one is always going to be your odd number. The second row is always going to be your even numbers. So when you are on the odd numbers, you're going to be on the right. And when you're on the even numbers, you're going to be on the left. So just remember that so that you never lose your place. You also have to remember when you're on the odd numbers, that's when your work is facing you. When you're on the even numbers, that's when it's turned around. So for instance, if I'm crocheting this and I start at the bottom, I'm looking at it. Let's say if I'm all the way up here on the top, right? I'm up here on row 100. So I'm crocheting row 100 and I can look at it. Well, I'm going to say 101. I'm on row 101, right? The odd number. And I'm looking at my blanket, looking down like this is really nice. The top is going to look excellent when I'm finished. So that's 101, right? 102, we're going to turn around and we're going to crochet that row, 102. And then 103, we're going to turn it around. So it'll be the front. It'd be facing us. 103, right? And then 104, we're going to face, and it's going to be the back of us. So that's how you can know what's facing front and what's facing back. Now that's if you start right to left, left to right. Obviously, it'll be opposite if you do it the opposite way. You can start your graph. It's only preference, whatever you want. If you want to start on the left, you can start on the left. If you want to start on the right, you can start on the right. If you want to start at the top, you could do that as well. You're just following the same way. You just have to, wherever you start, you just follow the same way. Left to right, right to left. Left to right, right to left. Or right to left, left to right, right to left, left to right. Did I say the same thing? I swear to you guys, I don't drink. I don't smoke. I don't do none of that. But I really do not remember what I started with. I swear. I don't know what's wrong with me. But if I was to highlight, I'm highlighting down here, whatever. I did like 10 rows in one time because I'm the diva. I do like 10 rows at one time, right? You can see it, right? So, I'm going over here where I did my elbow glue and I did it, right? When you get to the area, if you have tape, let me show you what the tape does, because tape don't like graphs unless it doesn't bother you, but it bothers me. Like I really need to make sure that my graph has my highlighting mark the whole entire way. It just like does not, it just, the mental capacity of seeing the tape on top and you just can't highlight it. It comes off because it's rubbing off. It's like the mental anguish, the problem, the anxiety, like it's not a good idea. So say I put this on top right there, and then I use my handy dandy highlighter, right? And look what happens. Look at that. It's gone. It's gone. How is that helping me? It bothers me. I can't do it. I can't take it. I really, 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 really need to have elbow glue. So it's your preference. If you want to use elbow glue, you can use elbow glue. If you want to use tape, you can use tape. It's your preference. I just can't deal with the disappearing highlighter. I just can't do that. But it's up to you. So I hope I answered your question. I hope I was able to help you start this wonderful graph. I really do appreciate you asking this question and subscribing. I just ask that you like this video. If you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. If you like the video, click the like button up at the top. And if you like, please share. I appreciate it. Bye.